So a streetscape, as we see it, is really the fabric that kind of connects a city. It's our roads, sidewalks, any public space. For us, a smart streetscape is one that ideally addresses a lot of the challenges that we do face in that environment. AI is a huge driver in particularly our emphasis on situational awareness, which for us is taking public space sensing and then understanding the context, the scene, maybe trajectories of individual objects. They can be trained to count people, count vehicles. Privacy is extremely important to the Center for Smart Streetscapes. At the earliest point, we actually anonymize data when we're collecting from cameras. We can't recognize people. We all have the experience of getting stuck in traffic. It also can have serious impacts on emergency response vehicles. We have collaborated very closely with the Fire Department of New York to speed up the response to hospital by over a minute in about 20% of the city. We can see other gains just by having an understanding of the entire system, where we can have dynamic repositioning potentially of EMS units so that the right unit can respond to a 911 call. At Columbia, we work primarily obviously in New York City, but we have a test bed specific to Harlem. And so we work with community leaders, stakeholders, citizens to understand the challenges. One example, very recently, we've been working on what we would call like a pedestrian bike alert system to address the increasing mixture of different kinds of vehicles on our streets, and alerts each of them to the potential pending collision. Since inception, we've had a kind of sustained engagement with our community partners in the Harlem neighborhood, a program that we call the Community Partners in Residence, which has been incredibly impactful for the development of our agenda. Our center has 3 different testbed communities, Harlem here next to Columbia, in West Palm Beach, Florida, one in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Started a micro-credentialing program, like a boot camp basically, where we teach students how to really focus on that sort of human-centered design to address the needs of the users and prioritize those. Often we design to a specification, but here it's really about teaching students how to listen and to come up with that specification. Yeah, I think the reason the National Science Foundation is funding a center like this is because they realize that it requires what they would call a convergence of different technologies. So bringing different disciplines together to solve these kinds of complex problems and make ultimately that societal impact. I think there's a real opportunity for the public-private partnership, but I would also add academia into that mixture. Government has a responsibility from an operational point of view, and as academics, we want to do research and we want to hopefully add to the public good.